What is up, guys? Aoki here, and today we are doing another coaching session. This time it is a Plat 4 Morgana main by the name of Necrosis. So this is going to be kind of a pretty good juxtaposition between the last coaching session that I had, which you can find the description to, or the link to down in the description, as that was a Bronze 5 game, and this is a Plat 4 game. So there's going to be, hopefully, a little bit more of a structure to this one. This is Plat instead of Bronze, but Plat, there's still a lot of mistakes being made, so let's find some of those to capitalize on and improve on. So right off the bat, this is a much better start. You have stacked. You have, I'm not seeing you ping a lot. Don't be afraid to be the guy that pings, ping, 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 ping. Let's stack for an invade. I would say you guys have a really good invade comp, actually. The only problem with invading is that you're invading into a Karma who can, of course, Mantra Q you and get like a 5-man Mantra Q. Other than that, Morgana is one of the strongest invaders in the game. So if I were you, I would be wanting to proactively invade, catch someone sleeping, maybe blow a summoner or two. Let's watch just your team's Fog of War. One thing, though, is you don't want to do this. So if you're not going to stack and invade, you want to make sure you're not getting invaded. And if you just sit here, you don't know if they're invading down here. So if you watch me play every single game, I try to get people to stack here and sit here for the counter invade or invade themselves, and I put a ward down here. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you a little less vision control in the bushes in the laning phase, but it's going to give you a lot of peace of mind as to whether or not you yourself are getting invaded. So always throw that ward down there as soon as possible. Because at this point, we don't know if they're invading. And they step around this corner and hit you with that Mantra Q, they're at least going to get your flash. So always be proactive, guys. Yeah, we've had no vision down here this entire time. And the odds of them invading are almost equally high as you invading. So one of the kind of tenets that I have as a player in solo queue is you want to be proactive. You don't want to sit here and wait for the win to come to you, right? So this kind of dawdling around is just completely wasted time. You're waiting to leash your jungler, and I get that. But you sitting here while Jinx is sitting here is not getting anything done for you. I would at least use your body as a ward down here, or actually drop your ward. Alright, speed this up. It looks like nothing's happening in the invasion phase. Another reason you want to ward is because they actually have a really good cheese. You're against a Morgana and a Lucian. They have a lot of kill pressure at level 1 if they sit here and you face check this. So you're either going to face check into a bush that you don't know that they're there or not, or you're going to take the long way around and risk missing the level 2 jump. Getting level 2 first. So get into the habit of always dropping that ward in that bush. Alright, let's hope they're not here. Again, I know that you're aware of it. I know that you're aware that it's possible that they could stack there because I saw you swiveling back and forth. It's smart, but that's not going to dodge the Mantra Q. So, you know, there's being aware of a level 1 cheese, and there's actually doing something about preventing it. So let's see how you play the laning phase. Looks like you started Q. I've actually been getting into the habit of starting W and getting off a lot of really, really easy procs. Really easy spelthy procs, but that's a little bit of a preference. It's really up to you. But yeah, this whole level 1. Okay, you did end up hitting a really nice binding there, nice. But now, see, she's ahead of you now. And if you don't think that you're going to be fighting level 1, I would be starting W. It also can help you if you put it like right here on the wave. It also gets those caster minions a little bit lower. You might get the level 2 advantage. But it looks like you guys are kind of giving up that level 2 advantage, letting it push into you. She should have respected that, but you can't do anything about that. Alright, so the Mantra Q is down. Your binding is down. So in a matchup like this, that W basically does absolutely no damage. So when your ADC is back here farming, getting the less of the minion waste to bounce the wave, you're putting yourself in a really bad position here. You could get hit with a Q to the face, Lucian could dash forward, auto, Q, auto. You're going to be taking a lot of damage. So this is too far up. This is too far up. A general rule of thumb in solo queue is that you want to remain even with your ADC. Okay, the trade didn't go too bad, but you did take a bad trade there. Okay, sneaking around back here. This is a really good move to do as Morgana. When the wave is right around here, if you could hit this one and then hit that cannon, they would lose vision of over here. And you see it a lot in higher elo. The Morgana will like seemingly disappear. And all of a sudden it's like it's opening up this like multiple choice scenario where it's like, is she roaming? Is she just getting vision? Is she warding this? Is she warding this? Or is she just sitting there and waiting to hit a binding? So just always have that kind of like trick play in the back of your pocket. You tried to do it here, but they actually have vision of you off these minions right here. Nice, nice, nice. Easy, easy spell procs. And as long as you're not putting yourself below around 170 mana, which is how much mana Morgana at these levels needs to do her Q, W, E combo, that's, I believe, 170 mana. You have plenty of it as long as you're not falling below that threshold where in case... Oh, that's a great binding. Great, great binding. And they missed the mantra Q. You're backing off. You're trying to salvage the trade. Went a little bit south in your favor, but you did get some great damage on Lucian, setting him up for a great gank. Alright, at that point, I would have aggressively... When he's right here trying to duel this Graves, even if it's just for like 2 or 3 seconds... Flash, ignite, auto. Put that pressure on him to make him say, I need to immediately flash out or just accept my death. I think you waited too long here to not be making that like decisive moment in the lane. And it looks like Lucian might get out. Yep, Lucian's going to be getting out. Whereas if you had landed that flash or that ignite, oh my god. All right, so what we need to take from this, Lucian's an idiot. He overstayed. He, by some miracle, lived with 3 HP. And still tried to sit there and auto things. What we need to take from that is that was a misplay on his part. Don't necessarily pat yourself on the back for that. I mean, great job like following up all the way through the lane and making sure you guys got the kill. But if you had aggressively flashed and ignited and threw in an auto or two back here, he would have been dead back here. And, you know, chasing all the way up the lane gives time for Vi to counter gank. Just, it gives more time for things to go wrong. So good job getting the kill. But you could have played it a little more efficiently. Alright, so we did see Vi died mid. So you always want to have kind of a running counter of how your team is doing in the back of your head. Not because it's important to wonder, like, why, oh, am I doing better than mid or not? It's not a competition in that sense, but like for instance, if Talon is 2-0, you're going to be playing differently than if it's your Syndra that's 2-0. So mid is winning pretty hard. She got a solo kill and then she killed the jungler, so that's going to be taking a lot of Vi's pressure off the map. So just be keeping like a tally of these things. Like Vi just died, she's going to be behind your jungler. She was already a level behind. So you can probably get away with playing pretty aggressively here without the risk of getting ganked. Compared to if Vi was, you know, 2 kills ahead. So watch you get back to lane. Alright, so I want to see some more aggressive play coming out of you guys. You got a kill earlier. You're up a kill on them. You know the jungler's behind. Yes. Get control of this bush. Push that Lucian off. Their backs are staggered. That's why it's so important to take advantage of the fact of, like, if one of you dies in lane, or if one of them dies in lane, or you stop one of their backs are going to be called something that's staggered. Like, he's going to be coming into lane into a 2v1. And yeah, take advantage of this bush. You did it a little bit, but you could have walked all the way up this bush. And I guarantee this shit isn't warded. You can walk back here a little bit. You know, make him like aware of the fact that it's a 2v1 and punish him for it. You know, get a little bit of damage on it. Deny him this CS. Walk into this bush. Take control of this shit, man. You know Karma's not going to be there for at least, you know, 15 seconds or so. You got some time alone with this guy. Alright, yeah, this was his misplay. So what you should be doing is you should still be in this bush. He wouldn't be dashing forward if you were in this bush, but we got to deal with whatever we got, right? The black shield there is completely useless. He doesn't have any CC or anything that's going to... You're not negating any damage. You're not negating any CC. Hold on to that black shield, and you should have given it to Jinx here. Wasted black shield, and especially in the early game, that's got a really long cooldown. So yeah, I would have said more aggressively punish the fact that their backs were staggered, and then don't waste that black shield. I know it's like a reflexive, instinctive thing, like, oh, he's going in on me, just use the black shield, but it really wasn't useful for anything there. It's just dipping into your mana pool unnecessarily. Let me bring the scoreboard up. I want to see your items. Okay, just got your Frostfang. That's fine. Nice, man. Nice binding from downtown. If you catch them sneaking away from the comfort of their minion wave, it's definitely keep them honest, keep them on their toes. That was a little ambitious. I don't think he would have any reason to be dashing that way, especially because they don't have vision over here. He could be dashing into a Graves. But, I'm not going to sit here and nitpick every single binding. I might criticize you for using it at all, but it's hard to sit there and be like, you need to hit your bindings. Like, that's just useless. Like, of course you want to hit your bindings. But shooting it in that direction is, I don't think that there would be any reason he would be dashing that way. Okay, their jungler is here. Nice flash. Nice flash. Alright, kite away from her. Very nice, man. Trading a 1-for-1 on that in that situation is really good. That was well played. And I don't think you would have gotten the 1-for-1 if you didn't flash the initial Vi dash. Let's get you back to lane. Alrighty, so at this point, we know that Vi is dead. So they probably aren't doing Dragon. So if you ward this, this is a wasted ward. You know Karma and Lucian, very, very low chance that they're going to be doing Dragon by themselves. I would be, help your mid laner out. Is your ward up? Okay. You're looking a little bit lost here. You're looking like you're kind of deciding whether or not you should be going bot or mid. You do decide mid is the correct answer. This is a good roam. This is a good roam. Let's see if she can bait anything out of it. Honestly, I don't think this roam is going to work with you on this side of the map or on this side of the wall. So I would be walking into this bush, waiting for your mid laner to tell you is it warded or not, because this one you're about to get seen anyways. So maybe if you could have creeped up behind here, and at that point he would move away from it, move away from the bush if it's warded, or continue fighting her normally if it's not. But the roam is not going to work from this side of the map. Side of the wall, excuse me. Okay, coming back to bot lane. We want to be careful walking through this bush. This is kind of the same thing that we did level 1, is we're not really respecting the fact that they have a really good bush cheese. If you don't have vision, I would have just taken the long way around, because this is a kind of a bad situation for you. You're going to be taking a lot of damage that you shouldn't have. And now you've done exactly what we talked about that you did good to them earlier, is you've staggered your back. So now you either need to make the decision of going back to the base and regaining HP, or staying in lane with very little HP. And it looks like you're staying in lane. Honestly, I don't know how much help you're going to be for Jinx. I would just let her, they're pushing it, I would have just gone back. It's not an ideal situation, but it's a situation you put yourself in by face checking the bush. Yeah, I mean, you're having to play so far back, and they're shoving it anyways. So if you had just gone back, you'd be like right here by now. You'd almost be back to base. Yeah, I mean, you're not healthy enough to check the dragon. You're not healthy enough to set up a gank for Graves. You just can't really do anything. You're having to play so far back. Yeah, I definitely would have gone back. Ideally, you don't face check the bush at all, and I'm noticing that you're just not respecting that. You definitely need to respect that in an aggressive lane like this. But yeah, after you face check the bush and taken all that damage, just go back. If you're having to play this far back and still have the fear of Lucian diving you, just you're not going to be any use to Jinx. Let her just farm it under the turret. Alright, let's get you back to lane. Hold on. I didn't catch what happened there. Alright, so we've got a low Grave sitting under the turret, and that's looking like a mighty fine meal to this Talon. Oof. Alright, so nothing terrible happened. Honestly, I would have been trying to bind this Lucian. He's a much easier shot. He's moving towards you instead of away from you like the Talon. I get what you were doing. You're trying to land him there so that Syndra can come down and kill him. But Lucian, you just saw Lucian shred your asshole before. So you know he can do it to you now. And he's moving towards you. I would shoot that binding and kite back. Like, you're the only one here. Shoot that binding at Lucian. Alright, this Talon is an absolute moron. So good for you guys. Alright, nice binding. I don't think it's going to result in anything here. But you're chilling back, You've got that nice bush control. You know it's not warded. Stop his back, Yes. That is such an underlooked skill. Stop it again. Yes. This is good. This is really good. You know that Talon's not coming down. Stop it again. Yes. Stop it again. Very nice. You don't, like, so many players don't understand how good of a skill that is to have. That awareness of knowing when you can stop their back and how inconvenient that is for him. Because now he doesn't get to buy the items. He's forced to choose to stay in lane with less health than he wants, or go back and get these items, or miss this CS. Like, you've put him in a really shitty position. And I don't know if you were having this thought process when you stopped his back, but you know you're not getting roamed on by Vi or Talon. Talon is dead and Vi was over here, or Vi is on the other side of the map. So that's a really safe backstop. As you get higher and higher in elo, people are going to be trying to bait you into stopping their back, and it's not going to be a good backstop. So as you get higher and higher, you're going to have to think critically about, like, are they baiting me? Do they want me to step up forward and stop their back? But continue stopping their back in the elo that you're in, man, because I promise, like, that has such a huge effect on the lane. Yep, another one. Dude, you have tilted this man. I mean, that's like 4 backstops. I think if you did it any further, you're now at risk of getting ganked by Vi. So now, if he's a smart player, he's going to be like, she stopped my back 4 times. I bet she'll go for it a 5th time, and they might bring Vi bot. Nope. What he's doing, he's getting as much of the CS as possible, and he's going back and backing immediately. You have it warded, so you're going to stop it again. Very nice, man. This man is on Mars. This man has been tilted to Mars. Really, really good job. This is probably the best thing I've seen you do all game. Like, this is really, really good. Because now you've put him, you stopped his back like 6 or 7 times. So now he's forced to sit under his turret, miss CS, or go back. Yeah, Syndra's coming down. Graves is here. Now they're diveable. Alright, we got her flash. We got Syndra coming down here. Alright, so that was really, really good. You got Karma's flash, you almost killed her, you landed a nice binding, and I want you to understand that all of that happened because you continuously pressured them to back in safer places. You stopped their backs, you had a continuous pressure, and that was really, really good, man. But I need you to understand that that good thing that happened is because you stopped their back so many times. Okay, so Vi ulting immediately onto Jinx. Nice black shield. You've done everything you could. Jinx, that was just Jinx greeting. And it's difficult to say let her go in that position, but I don't think that there's anything you could have done for her there. But the fault of that was on Jinx. I wouldn't be too I wouldn't be too upset about that. The best thing you guys could have done there was just leave Jinx, and it wasn't really a situation where it looked absolutely definitively true that she was going to die. So unfortunately, you just got caught up in her mistake. Just shake it off. Okay, Talon is starting to pop off. Nice, nice, nice. Deny the vision. Playing it safe. At this point, I would be communicating to Jinx that they're continuously sending 3 people bot. You guys saw Vi, so red ping her off. Tell her, hey, playtime's over in bot lane. We're leaving. Yeah, set under turret. Do whatever you got to do. If they're gonna put that many resources into shutting you down, you just have to respect it. This is a good ward. This is a good ward because you see these two farming. So at most, at worst, it's a 2v1 right here. Let's say Vi goes in on her. You guys will be fine on that. It's a very nice proactive ward. All right, you see Graves coming in here. He's gonna blast on himself over the wall. We see Vi. This is a 3v3. So it's not a 3v3 that you win if you don't get the jump on someone. They have wave advantage. Jinx is farming. So I would be either me pinging Graves off or going for the pick like right now. Like you need to be moving right now because we see Graves he's doing this, and what's probably going to happen is Vi is going to ult him and instantly kill him. So this is not a fight that you guys want unless you get the pick on someone. Okay, did Vi just like, okay, yep, that was really good, man. That was really good. You guys took advantage of the fact that Vi was late to the fight. You had a really nice 3-man aggro flash Morgana ulti into the Zhonya's, or into the stopwatch. Yep, this is beautiful. Oof. Oh man, I hope she gets out. Beautiful, beautiful play. Yeah, man, that was not a fight. I feel like if you didn't land that like 3-man ulti, that procced both times on all 3 of them, you guys wouldn't have won that fight. So that was really good. It was really good awareness, the fact that you saw Graves going in. But that fight could have definitely gone south fast if you didn't land that. So good job being aggressive, appropriately aggressive. Alright, shove that. Very nice. Go back. You're not greeting for the turret. Smart, smart, smart. Alright, let's see what's going on next. Looks like you're wanting to group mid. I would be pinging Jinx that the next team fight should be up. There goes the dragon. Alright, so we know where Vi is. We immediately know that Vi is bot side. And it looks like we're kind of just floundering here. This is fine. Their next objective, though, is grouping for this turret. Lucian's bot. While Lucian's bot, I would probably be wanting to like actually aggress on one of these picks. Yeah. Good collapse. Really good collapse. Very nice. And now you guys have really good pressure on mid. Careful with this though, man. Careful with this. I know you're keeping your distance, but we've lost vision on Vi. We don't know where Vi's at. Let's say Vi's right here. If Vi's right here, you're caught. Be with the team, man. Be with the team. You're not going to save that ward. That ward's dead no matter what. Yeah, be pushing with this team. You guys want this turret. Yep, I don't agree with what you've done here. You've gone down to like maybe like babysit Jinx up. You've got sufficient vision out here. As long as she takes safe paths, she's totally fine. You should be with these guys to cut off this flank. Yeah, imagine how this fight would look if you were still with them. This fight would look way different, and it probably wouldn't even be happening. But this is a fight that you guys would win if you were with them. But unfortunately, you decided to kind of unnecessarily escort Jinx when she didn't really need it. Yeah, it looks like you turned it. Very nice. Kind of an unnecessary ulti there, though. And Morgana's ult is a really big game changer in team fights. So it looks like everything turned out okay. But yeah, the escort mission that you ran here with Jinx was just unnecessary. Very nice. All right, you guys killed 4 people. Get the turret and leave. Get the turret and leave. Be typing that out to your team. Type. Be that shot caller that you want in your games. Be pinging Cho'Gath off. He's greeting here. Greed. And honestly, I would be going back. Jinx can farm this. You know she's not in any danger. We see Talon mid. Yep, I told you Cho'Gath greeted for it. But yeah, I would be going back immediately, because you're not gonna help Jinx farm that. You're not gonna take the CS yourself. This is just kind of a waste of your time. And I'm thinking that this might be one of the habits that you need to break. The idea that you need to be with your ADC at all times is not the right way to approach solo queue. Because yeah, you're getting very little done over here. It's good that you're finally looking to back, but yeah, there wasn't really a real definitive purpose to you coming down here with her. She wasn't in any danger at all. Now, if Vi was still alive, if Lucian was still alive, if we didn't have any vision down here, that's a different story. But with the pieces that with the pieces of the game that we knew, there wasn't any reason for you to go with her. All right, let's see what we're doing here. It is good that you immediately noticed that a lot of people were showing mid, and that's where you should be. This is not your job to catch this wave. It's not your job. So it's good that you immediately noticed that something was maybe happening mid. It's bad that you chose to come bot at all. And it's only gonna cost you, a few seconds, but sometimes those few seconds matter. Okay, let's see what's going on now. Throwing that out there, no biggie. You missed it. Morgana's a great champion because she has a very, very non-committal playmaking ability. It's not like a Leona E, where if you hit it, you have to go in on it. Morgana binding is great because you can just, I call it fishing. You can just fish for things, and if it works, you can go in on it, and if not, let's say you hit it and you realize it's not a good call to go in on, you can just walk away from it. It's up again in 5 seconds. Alright, so we're kind of getting into a bad situation here where we don't have vision on these. We luckily have a vision in this, but they have a lot of really good flankers. They have Vi, Talon, and Camille, who all have one thing in common. They're very mobile ADC shredders. So luckily we have the vision here. Being this far up without having vision here is not that great. I would have been pinging my team back. I would have been standing further back to try to, influence the team. Hey, let's step back here. It was a good black shield. It just wasn't enough. I mean, you guys just got ambushed because that's what their team does. So we stood a little too far forward here. Without vision, without context, without information of where everybody is. It looks like you guys are trying to salvage the team fight, but it's definitely a loss in your guys' favor, or in the other team's favor. So yeah, that was a pretty big throw, guys. You were starting to win team fights. You were starting to get objectives. You got the turret earlier. You had your waves in pretty decent positions. You were just too far forward. And as you grow as a player, you're going to be able to see these things coming. 2-3 seconds away, and that'll be hopefully enough time to react. Because yeah, the second I realized that you guys had no vision on basically any of your pockets. That's exactly what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to catch you out here away from your turrets and just hard engage on you. Going back. Hopefully Graves is smart enough not to fight that. There he is. Alrighty, let's take a look at your build. Are you building... Looks like you're building Redemption, Shurelius first. Okay, so a lot of itemization on Morgana comes down to preference. It comes down to how well you're doing in the game and how comfortable you are on Morgana. I've always said that Zhonya's is kind of a greedy build on Morgana, but at the same time, it's probably the best item on Morgana. It's almost essential to what she's trying to do. You know, she needs to stall for the second proc of her ulti. She's squishy, so she could use the survivability. They have a ton of AD damage on their team. Zhonya's might have been the best pick here. Shurelius definitely isn't a bad item, though. Not crazy about the Moby boots either. I would honestly go... I would probably have gone Ninja Tabis this game, because the thing about Moby boots is that all it takes is one tick of damage, of you outputting damage, of you taking damage, and all of a sudden, there goes 40% of your speed. You know, and especially in a game like this where you're not really like aggressively roaming. I could see you building Mobies if you had the lead in this game, but this is a very, very close game. And you're not a Talon. You're not the person that's proactively, you know, roaming around the map and trying to catch people. You're kind of playing defense this game. So I would have gone Ninja Tabi or Merc Treads. I think would have been better options in this game. Because, I mean, you're dropping a ton of W's, and it's just procking your Mobies. Unprocking. Okay, kind of just catching waves. We want to be preparing for this next dragon. This is an Infernal Dragon coming up in 10 seconds, so ping, ping, ping your team. Get some vision on it. You're looking a little lost out here. This is definitely the next fight that you guys should be doing. This is the fight that you want. It's not an Infernal. This is a air dragon, it looks like, right? Where do you see which type of dragon it is? It's a water. Cloud. Alright, this is a good catch. She had a good leap up there. Alright, we kind of got... She honestly just outplayed you. That was a good catch, and that was the right idea to be trying to catch her out while the rest of the team's coming over from Dragon. You just got outplayed. If you had held on to your Q, that would have gone better in your favor, and I think you guys probably would have killed Camille. But, I mean, what can you say? She outplayed you. Which is fine. Just be a little more patient with your Qs, especially when you have champions that have the ability to outplay. I found that when you're playing Morgana, if you auto, they will eventually get nervous about you throwing the Q out, and they'll use their ability that counters your Q. Because the animation for her Q, especially in that proximity, like, they're going to be tweaking. They're going to be thinking, she's going to throw the Q. She's going to throw the Q. So maybe just be a little more patient with your Qs, with your bindings. Oh, we got problems here. Whew. You are cutting it close there, man. You are cutting it close there. Alright, this game is kind of devolving into chaos. It looks like their divers are diving the mid lane. I think that's where you should be. I don't think that it's worth your life to get vision out in here, because it doesn't really matter if they're out here. You don't have a red buff to protect. I mean, they're not pushing the bot lane yet. It looks like they're just running it down and strong arming it mid. This is where you guys should be. And I know it's easy to sit here in a replay and say, oh, something went bad mid, you should have been there. But it's important to understand that I'm not just saying that because something bad happened. I'm saying that because there were signs that they were pushing mid. That's what they were wanting to do. And there was no real reason.
Try support Swain. He is the ultimate
Sorry about that, guys.
in terms of attack and defense.
There is no real reason for them to be out here. And I think if you were here, you could have really salvaged this a lot better. Hopefully you guys get that Talon, but even then, it's now a 4v2 with them having Baron. So or not Baron, but wave priority. Okay, you guys have a top lane pushing. So someone is going to go up to that top lane. You guys need to be making a definitive decision here of what the play is. Do we let them just catch that wave? Do we push that wave to the turret and try to siege that? Or do we just continue trying to scale up? So Camille's up there. You guys are just getting your items. This is fine. At this point in the game, I would just be trying to scale. You guys have lost every single objective. You're starting to lose team fights. I would say your win condition at this point is you finding a pick and all-inning as fast as you can. Getting some vision on the Baron. We just saw them use the vision plant over here, so we know shit's about to go down on this side of the map, so start hustling over there. Take a safe route. There you go. Good job. We see Talon on the map. We see their bot lane. This could be the pick that you guys were looking for. The fact that you're over here is not good. You need to be where this Syndra is, because you have the pick. She has a stun, and you have the binding. You guys are the only ones that are going to be able to turn this game around. So again, there's no real reason for them to be over here. I understand your fear of getting flanked, but at worst, it's Vi only. We see Talon on the map, and we just saw Camille top. So at worst, it's Vi coming over here, and that's still a 3v2 or a 3v4 in your guys' favor. You need to be up here with them. So I think part of what you need to be working on, Necro, is the fact that you need to be a little more conscious of when you're warding and why you're warding. And it seems to happen a lot on this, like in the jungle. I know it's a big, scary, dark place if you don't have any wards, but it doesn't always need to be warded, especially if you have information about the enemy and you know that there's no reason for them to be there. It's okay to just hold on to your wards and leave it unwarded. Alright, so now you guys are going for a tier 2 push, where you should be. Yep, there you go. Push to tier 2. Hold on to your binding for as long as you can here. Don't be taking pot shots. It means nothing if you hit this binding. If you shoot a binding here, it is an absolute waste of a binding. It means nothing. It means nothing. Even if you hit him, there is no follow-up damage. Hold on to your binding, man. Morgana, this late into the game when you have a hyper carry like Jinx, you need to be transitioning into a more defensive role. Hold on to your bindings until the perfect pick.
Hey fellas, I0key
And again,
cool. Hi YouTube #, huge shout out to my boy Excurse.
And even if you hit that binding, again, you've got no follow-up, so you need to be over here with the team. You could have black shield this girl, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna die. Nope. Okay, but I didn't get the rest of her combo off. But still, be with your team. Be playing defensive. The game's starting to go in your guys' favor now. You just need to keep your hyper carry nice and healthy. Alright, they got the Scuttle Crab, so now you need to be a little more wary of, once their jungler's up, of them doing a Baron. Yep. So earlier in the game, you were unnecessarily shadowing Jinx. At this point in the game, your job is to shadow Jinx. Your job is to shadow Jinx, be there in front of her to set up picks for her with your binding, and get that black shield on her. Yep, you see Talon? You backing away. It's looking like Jinx wants to buy something. She just got several kills, so. Okay. So we've got kind of two different team fights going on here. At this point in the game, your Jinx has 2 levels on Lucian. So aggress this. Yeah, this should have been something you're aggressively pursuing. It kind of looked like you're in one of those situations where like, oh, if we hit the Q, we'll go in. But get them off your turret, make them walk back this way, and then you can rotate over there and salvage this fight. Or if you hit them, you know, all in them. So you need to be a little more willing to commit to things. Okay. No catch on the Lucian. Your jungler is dead. This is a 4v5, and you've got damage on Lucian, and you might be able to get picks, but this is getting riskier and riskier as time goes on. I would definitely be very wary of what you guys are doing, because again, no vision over here. Let's say Vi dashes into her and one-shots her. So be pinging your team out. You just killed her with Redemption. That is one of the most fun things you can do in the game. Very nice. Okay, hold on. I'm going to back that up. Yup. Boom! Very nice. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Alright. So Talon's going in. We have to assume someone over here is going to be going in. Good black shield. Good black shield. Nice root. Taking a lot of damage. Careful on your positioning. Use this guy as a wall. Use this guy as a wall. You very rarely want to be trading with Lucian, especially in this stage of the game. Not even that often in laning phase can you ever out-trade Lucian, but yeah, just be wary of them. They've got a lot of mobility, and you're right, their team is basically all assassins with a karma to speed them up. I probably would have had presence here. I probably would have stopped my back and stepped forward and maybe put the black shield on someone. But channeling your back, it turned out fine for you. Necro says, I was super wary of this game because of the assassinate potential, not as aggressive as a particular game. And that's smart, but there's always a balance. There's always the possibility that you're playing, you know, too wary at times. And it's all just a learning process. There's so many variables in this game. Oh, this is sketchy. This is really sketchy. I think that you're going to get wards over here. But someone could have been there. Someone could have been there. They could have been baiting you with the plant. This is really sketchy that you're going all the way out here for vision by yourself. Especially without Azonias to, like, you know, buy a few seconds for your team to collapse on you and get you out of a dangerous situation. That was really, really sketchy. This late in the game, one pick could turn into a Baron. So just careful about walking into unwarded bushes. Oh, right here. You made the decision to trade with Lucian right there. Bad. Don't do that. The dude's gonna delete you. And it's stupid of him to dash forward, but even if it was just that trade that you took, that's a lot of damage, isn't it? Yeah, don't ever want to be trading with Lucian at this point in the game. You know, it was stupid of him to dash forward. It looks like he got caught. But just because he made a stupid decision doesn't mean that you trading with him was the correct call. Alright, very nice. One very little nitpick is Redemption kind of has a secret passive that no one ever talks about, and that passive is that it's like you're the director and the team fight is your act. Like you choose where you want the team fight to go towards, because you're dropping a gigantic laser that says, hey, I'm about to drop Redemption right here. And putting it backwards kind of just encourages people to walk back towards it, where if you put it like towards here, it wouldn't have inconvenienced you, because it wouldn't have given you it wouldn't have stopped your forward progress. You guys now have a lot of momentum. You killed 3 of them. You want to put the Redemption forward so you can just continue walking forward, get hit by it, hey, that was convenient, and continue your siege. But that's a little nitpicky, but just always have that in the back of your head, like Redemption, where you want the team fight to move towards. Are you wanting to run away? Put it behind you. Are you wanting to move forward? Do you have momentum? Put it ahead of you. Alright. So Talon went for another suicide run here. Well, looks like he actually killed Graves. Nice. Okay, I would be taking this turret. This might be a little bit greedy to go for this inhibitor. We don't know where Talon's at. We just saw what he did to Graves. Okay, Talon's up here. All right, that was the right call to go for the inhib. Good job. You guys still haven't taken tier 3 mid, so that should be your immediate objective. Is channel your back, find a safe place to back, and go back as soon as you can and get this tier 1. I want to be sieging it right now because you guys are going to put yourself in a position where they're all going to be up and wanting to pressure Baron, and you haven't gotten to buy your items yet. So you can come back and get this turret at any point in the game, really. Especially now that you're going to have free pressure mid. I would have channeled my back. I would have gone back and bought items. And told your team to do the exact same. Because now, look, you guys are all injured. You got Talon jumping around, one-shotting people. Yep, there he goes. Yeah, now you guys have... You definitely overstayed. Yep, now they're wanting to pressure Baron. You guys have to back at this point. You have no mana, no health. And they basically get a free Baron. So I'm hoping it doesn't, but it's very possible that that could have cost you guys the game, is overstaying after that inhibitor. There's a very fine line between having aggressive momentum and having the ability to, you know, go from inhibitor to turret to turret to turret and getting the inhibitor and overstaying for the turret and getting killed and giving them Baron. Like, it happens that fast. If you guys had just channeled your back, I mean, this wasn't warded, so at worst, Camille has to face check it and get deleted by you to stop your backs. Best case scenario, you guys all get to go back, spend all that money you just earned, and then, you know, rotate into a top lane tier 1 or a Baron. So yeah, that overstay really had a large effect on the game. So let's see what you guys do now that you know that mid is automatically pushing and they have Baron. There's no real reason to be hanging around mid. This is going to be pushing automatically, so you'll have a huge neon sign giving you a warning that they're pushing mid, because you're going to see it coming from a while away because they're pushing into super inhibs. So you should assume that they are going for one of these two turrets. This is the more obvious target since it's lower, so I would have been getting vision out here. Make sure no one's taking a path like this, and be just sitting underneath this turret. Yeah, being mid is only giving them opportunities to do things like this. Now, whether or not this works or not, it's still bad that you guys were here. Was that your ulti? That was your ultimate. Okay, so now you should be pinging your ultimate and giving your team the impression that you don't want to fight until that is up, because you definitely don't. Alright, so like I said, you got a neon sign showing you that they're pushing mid, so you have plenty of time to react and rotate over here. Whereas, if you had just been top, you could have stayed that turret. Camille would have had to back off. Alright, let's see. Let's see what you guys do now. No one's catching the top wave yet. You definitely don't want to be fighting on their Baron, because on their Baron they have so much momentum that one bad team fight goes wrong and they have the ability to end the game. I really would not be... I wouldn't be tempting fate like this. Just wait out the Baron. It's got like a minute tops on it. Alright, we see Camille bot, and we say that that's the time to fight. Unfortunately, the Cho knockup is just not a great catch out. Almost nobody gets caught by that by itself. Really what you're working with is the Syndra stun and your binding. So again, you're a little too far back. If you guys are making the decision to be pushing mid, you and Syndra need to be in the front. And Camille is committing to staying bot. So this is what you guys need to be doing, is you need to be making the decision to go bot and answer that, or pushed and try to get a catch and win. So it looks like they're respecting, so going back is the right decision. You guys need to respond to that. You need to respond to that bot lane. There you go. You guys should have her caught here. If you take the correct path down here, you guys should have her caught. Okay, she's out. That's all good. Regroup mid. Be aware, be consciously aware that Jinx is farming bot. You guys don't want to fight without her. Yep. Need to be respecting. Sit way, way back. Give them a tier 2. Tier 2 means absolutely nothing at this point in the game. But it looks like you guys are greeting for kind of keeping it. Alright, alright. Lucian greeted. There you go. There you go. Alright, massive misplay coming out of them. Tell me you guys run it down. You guys run it down, right? Oh, yeah, you run it down. You run it down. You're not running it down. You're going for dragon. I would be going for... Oh, the inhibitor is going to be respawning soon, so it's not an in situation, but you could definitely get this wave pushed up here and take this inhibitor. Lucian's not up for another 20 seconds. Vi's up in 10 seconds. I think that winning a fight that big and that conclusively this late in the game, the fact that you guys are only getting a mountain dragon out of it is selling yourself short. You guys could have all 5 people on this inhib if you had gone mid. I know it's not, you're not always in a position to make that call, and it's better to commit to the call that your team makes than to try to do it by yourself. But I definitely would have been trying to convince my team to get this inhib. Alright. Let's see what we do now. I do want to compliment you on how little time you spend in the base looking for itemizations, like going through the shop. You see a lot of people wasting a ton of time just scrolling through the shop. Oh, do I want to buy this or do I want to buy that? It looks like you have a really good idea of what your build's going to be, so props on that. Alright, great pick. Quality redemption. Oof. Alrighty, so what are we doing now? It's a 4v5. Are we going to dick around in their jungler and jungle and try to push bot, or are we going to go get that inhib? The correct call is obviously getting the inhib. This is not really a route you want to be taking, though. They have so many one-shotters on their team. They have a Vi and a Camille and a Lucian that's relatively fed. That could take you out. This is not worth your time. This is not worth your time. You don't care if they have vision there, and look at that. Yeah, you should be with your team right now. I'm hoping this doesn't cost you anything, but it definitely could have. Just be with your team. Move with your wave, move with your hyper carry. Don't care about the blue buff. Yo, we 37 minutes into the game, man. Blue buff means absolutely nothing to you or them right now. If you were right here, you'd be in a much better, safer position. You'd be taking a lot less risks. All right, let's see if we can close this one out. Yep, good call. You're leading your team down here, but they're a little slower than you, so careful getting too far away from your carry. This is I like seeing this though. I like seeing you making calls and leading people and bringing them to the next objective. This is good. Okay, we're channeling backs. No real reason to be channeling back right now. Your top lane is pushing, your mid lane is pushing, and we actually see one of them top. So pushing this now and here is actually the correct call. Yeah, unfortunately, you guys left the dinosaur behind, who is ironically the only one making the correct decision. That is going to hurt. So we're now doing a 3-man Baron. You got to remember the changes that they made to the Baron on this patch. He's really, really tanky. And he hurts a lot. And we see Vi coming out here. Yeah, you guys are going to get collapsed on hard here. It's a good denial. No. Okay, redemption. You guys are just like sharks in open water at this point, though. Alrighty, alrighty. Wow, that Jinx pop off, and that is going to be the game. So some yeah, this is the game, right? Yeah, you guys close it out. Okay, so some areas that I want you to be a little more aware of is being more conscious of when you're warding and why you're warding. Especially in the jungle, you're taking a lot of unnecessary risks, and I don't know what the opposite of risk is. I guess safety. You're being unnecessarily way too safe and like babying your Jinx in the middle in the mid game stages of the game. Where like if she's just going bot to clear a wave and you know that no one's going to jump on her, it's fine to leave her alone for a little bit. But in the late stages of the game, that totally inverses. You want to be on top of her basically 24/7. You don't want to be caring about if they have a ward on the blue buff. You don't want to be caring about, you know, if you can hit a bind on the Talon, remember over here, because that just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter if you don't have the follow-up damage, and she is your follow-up damage. That was a really great binding on the Vi, though. That denied the Baron. Could have turned the entire fight. But yeah, that is the biggest point that I want you to be aware of. Consciously being way more conscious of when you're warding, why you're warding. Be thinking like, am I warding an area that the enemy team is even going to be occupying in the next 2 minutes? And yeah, just being a little more aware of straying away from the group in the late game stages. But hey man, good game. You got the win. That was a really great binding on the Vi, denied the Baron. If you have any questions, Necro, I'd love to hear them now, and we can talk through them. But if not, thank you guys all who watch this on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the game. And peace.